My name is Dawn Shelton Williams. I am the owner of Shelton Williams Therapy and Consultation Services, LLC. I contract my services out to a community-based mental health clinic, Sebastian Family Psychology Practice. In my role here at the clinic, I am a psychotherapist. I'm a licensed clinical social worker for the state of Wisconsin. I have approximately 31 years of clinical experience working with women of color who suffer from anxiety and depression. The COVID-19 pandemic impacted not just people that had diagnosed mental health disorders, but everyone's mental health was impacted. I like to think of mental health as appearing on a continuum. Things are going great, you're feeling good, the choices and how you interact with people, your responses are positive in nature, they're upbeat. But there are things that happen to people in life, and that kind of puts you in the middle of the continuum. Something positive is getting married, something negative, getting a divorce, losing a job. And then on the other end of the continuum would be the mental health disorders or the mental health illness. I would have to say COVID-19 impacted people's mental health. For many, it was an increase in anxiety and in depression. And for some of the women that I work with that are already diagnosed with those mental health illnesses, it just exacerbated how they were feeling, how they were responding to others, the choices and decisions that they were making. I operate from a holistic standpoint, so I'm a firm believer that what happens with someone's mental health also impacts their physical health as well as their spiritual health. Many of the women were not going in for their physical health screenings, such as their mammograms and their pap tests, because they were very anxious and fearful that even when hospitals and clinics were opening back up and there were safety precautions put into place, that they were still going to get the virus. They were also looking at it from a financial standpoint. Many of the families that I work with are essential workers. They have to work. But many also had lost their jobs during COVID-19, which impacted them financially. Often we talked about this, quote, new normal. But what does that new normal really look like for people that were already struggling in the old way that we were doing things? So this just increased the anxiety and depression for many. During COVID-19, I was able to provide therapy using telehealth. As we're now going into an environment now where people are becoming more comfortable, they still want to use the telehealth. It's more convenient, and I see more of women actually being able to come to their appointments. I don't work with children and youth as I did in my earlier years of my career, but we are seeing really a mental health crisis with our youth. Again, it's the anxiety, seeing your parents, worrying about finances, what's going to happen. Many have lost loved ones, through death, through the pandemic as well. So you have grief that children and adults are also going through. I've also had the opportunity with my clients educating them around COVID-19, the vaccination and the boosters, providing them with the information so that they can make the best decisions for themselves and their families. I was extremely blessed, and I contribute that to getting the vaccinations, and I'm double boosted. I actually came down with COVID at the end of July after doing some traveling. I just happened to go in to the doctor, and the doctor said, yes, you have a bad sinus infection, but you're also COVID-19 positive. And I would never have guessed that I had COVID-19, because I didn't experience some of those severe symptoms that many have experienced. And again, I attribute that to getting vaccinated and being boosted. So I just encourage everyone, you have to do what's best for you and your families, but really look into the vaccinations and boosters. Please reach out to your doctors, other healthcare providers to get those questions answered so you can make the best decision on getting vaccinated and boosted.